Hello and welcome to Miss Bennett's or Mrs. Bennett's kitchen, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to make a lovely pesto chicken recipe for both carb eaters and non-carb eaters. So stay tuned, and this is a dead easy recipe that you can do at home. You can maybe cook for your parents if you're old enough to cook, or you could maybe just make a nice meal for your partner or your friends or whatever. So here we go. So here's my starting ingredients. I have got some olive oil, chicken diced, I've got pasta, aubergine, sweet potato, yellow pepper, garlic, pine nuts, mushrooms, parmesan cheese and some basil. So the first step is to take your vegetables, chop your vegetables first and pop them in the tray. So I've now chopped up all my vegetables. I'm going to put some olive oil on this, some salt and pepper, and then I'm going to pop it in the oven while I cook the rest of the stuff. All I would say is every so often you just need to keep checking on it and giving it a turn. So the olive oil. Good glug of olive oil. And then a little bit of salt and pepper. Just a sprinkle. And then you can stir that if you want to, or you can mix it up with your hands like I like to do. So it gets all the oil, salt and pepper all mixed up. And then you can pop that in the oven. So onto the pesto. First step, I'm going to take my 50 grams of pine nut, I'm going to pop them into a frying pan and toast them. Just so they're slightly browned. You need to keep a close eye on these, otherwise they'll end up burnt. So here you can see now you've got a couple of these pine nuts toasted, but I'm just going to do it a little bit longer, but you need to keep a watch for them not burning. And you'll also start to smell the pine nuts as they toast, so just don't leave the pan, keep an eye on it, keep moving them around. Oh yeah, they look perfect. There we go. You can clearly see the different colour pine nuts there, some of them toasted, some of them not quite as brown, so I'm just going to take them now and pop them into my pesto mix. First ingredient into the pesto, so I'm using a NutriBullet, a blender, or you can use a hand blender. I've just got like a small pot on the scales, so I'm putting my 50 grams of pine nuts in first. I'm putting 2 cloves of garlic. I'm putting 80 grams of basil. I have actually got 90 grams here. I'm not going to cut any of the leaves or the stalks off. I'm just going to put it all in. It doesn't matter if you've got slightly more. So if you get 90 grams, just use 90 grams. And then you need 50 grams of Parmesan cheese. And the last thing that you need to put in is 150 mils of olive oil. Now, I like to just put 100 mils in, then I'll blend it, and then I'll add some more if I want to. So that's just this olive oil here. So using your hand blender or some sort of bullet, you're gonna put that on and whiz it up. I think that's lovely now. Just going to add a bit more oil if I need to. So you can see in there, it's all nicely blended up. I'm just going to add a little bit more oil, blend it again, and then that's ready for me to put with my chicken and pasta. So I'll probably put another 30 to 40 millilitres in that, so not quite as much as the recipe needs, but if you want it more oily then you can add some more. Mix it up again and put that to one side. Okay, so I've made the pesto and now I'm going to get the pasta on. So I've boiled the kettle, I've weighed out 250 grams of pasta. That's for 2 people to have pasta. Now it's usually around 100 grams each, but that's for 2 growing lads. So they're going to have pasta, and then I'm going to do the other portion with some vegetables, and there'll be some left over for another meal. So I'm going to get the pasta on before I start to fry the chicken when that's nearly ready, and I'm going to put the pesto in with the chicken and some in with the pasta. Just going to put a bit of salt in the water. Oh, and all over the cooker. Okay, so while the pasta is cooking, I'm going to fry my chicken, and the pasta's going to take between 10 to 12 minutes. I'm going to fry the chicken, so pop a bit of oil in the pan. Heat that up. You don't need too much oil because you're going to be adding the pesto anyway. So that's heating up. You're going to wait till your pan's really hot and then put your chicken in because you want it to have a little bit of a brown on the edges. Make sure as well you stirred your pasta, don't leave that unstirred, otherwise it will all stick together, and nobody likes sticky pasta. Hot, the oil's hot, I'm going to put the chicken in, get that fried. So once your chicken is fried, you can put some pesto in that. I'm also going to put some pesto in the pasta, so do save yourself a little bit. And for this next bit, you want to make sure that your pan is not too hot, otherwise the pesto ends up burning to the pan. So I've put about 3 spoonfuls of pesto into my chicken. Pasta ready. Spot on. So I'm just going to drain my pasta and then pop it back into the pan. Put it back on there, reduce the heat a little bit. And I'm going to add some pesto to that one as well. So that's about 5 spoons of pesto into the pasta. Mix that up. Okay, so you've got something that looks like this. Leave it on the heat a little bit, just to warm the pesto through. And now I might just add a little bit more pesto to this for the vegetables, so I can pour it over the vegetables afterwards. So everything's ready. My chicken and pesto is ready. My pasta and pesto is ready. My vegetables are ready in the oven. All roasted in the oven, they're nice and soft. I've been turning those every so often. So altogether that's probably taken about half an hour for the vegetables. So the final thing is just to dish up the food I'm going to do too. So for the pesto and pasta one, you don't really need to take much of the sauce out of the chicken pan. That's more for the vegetable one. And then you can take some of the sauce and just drizzle it over the veg. And you can finish that off with a little bit of grated Parmesan cheese on top. And there you go. Keto, not keto.